If you've watched parts 4 and 5, you now understand the sequence that we've got with the confidence ladder and how courage and confidence work together. Confidence doesn't start with belief, it starts with safety, rung 1 of the ladder. Then it grows through courage. But courage on its own isn't enough. If a child is brave but feels incapable personally, then confidence still collapses. That is where today's rung comes in. And this rung on the ladder is competence. Competence is the rung of the confidence ladder where courage turns into calm. It's where anxiety begins to drop. It's where effort starts to feel worthwhile. And it's also where children stop asking, can I do this? And start thinking, I know how to do this. So let me be very clear about what competence actually is and what it isn't. Competence is not talent, it's not natural ability, and it's definitely not perfection. Competence is actually earned familiarity. So what is earned familiarity? Well, it's what happens when a child repeats something enough times that their nervous system relaxes. And relaxed nervous systems are confident nervous systems. And this is something that we see constantly in our academies. A child arrives nervous, they are hesitant, they're unsure, and then they try something once and they struggle. And if that struggle is framed correctly, they then want to try again and again and again. And slowly, something changes. Their breathing settles, their movements smooth out, and their face softens a little bit. That is competence forming. And when competence forms, confidence follows, often quite quietly and not dramatically. So here's the mistake many parents make at this stage. They think courage should immediately lead to confidence, but courage without competence feels kind of exhausting. If a child is constantly being asked to be brave without being given enough repetition to feel capable, they eventually burn out. And that's when avoidance creeps back in. So competence is the stabilizer. It's what turns bravery into belief. So let me give you a simple definition that you can remember. Courage is trying. Competence is knowing, and both matter. And they must be built in the right order. One of the most damaging myths in parenting is this idea that children should just know how to do things, how to cope with pressure, how to speak up, how to manage emotions, how to handle failure. The reality is they don't. All those things are skills, and skills are trained through repetition and not through motivation. And this is where many parents unintentionally undermine confidence. They keep changing activities and they quit too early. They chase novelty before their kids even chase the novelty. And the child never stays with something long enough to feel competent. And without competence, confidence never settles. At our academies, we see this all the time. Children who attend sporadically stay anxious, but children who train consistently calm down. And it's not because they're tougher, but actually because they're familiar and their body knows what to expect. Competence is familiarity under pressure. It's familiarity with pressure. So let me tell you a little story to make this all come alive. We had a boy join our academy who was extremely anxious, and there was huge separation anxiety involved here, and the boy was crying before class. He wanted to quit from day one. His parents were worried, but with lots of chats with us and sharing our methodology and how we could support, they believed in us, and that was the first step. His parents finding a company with the right mentors they could actually believe in. Now the temptation was to reassure him or remove the challenge entirely. Instead, we slowed everything down. We kept the same coach. We kept the same routine at the same time with the same other children there in a very small group with lots of personal attention. And the expectations for him were the same. Now, at first, nothing changed. Then one day he walked in without crying, and this was the really interesting thing. It wasn't because he felt brave, it was because he felt competent. He knew what was coming. 3 months later, he was one of the calmest kids on the mat. There was no stress in his body language, in his expressions, in his tone of voice. Now that wasn't some sort of confidence hype. that we gave him, that was competence, just doing its job. Familiarity with pressure was built. Familiarity with uncomfortability was built. Competence emerged. Now here's the key insight. Anxiety thrives in uncertainty. Competence thrives in familiarity. Competence creates familiarity. So how do parents actually build competence? The answer is simpler than most people would expect. Consistency, the same activity, the same expectation, the same structure, and repetition without chaos. It's as simple as that. So let's talk about how this looks at different ages. For young children, under the age of 5, competence is about predictable routines. They need the same bedtime rhythm, they need the same morning flow, the same cues before challenges, and every time you reduce uncertainty, you increase competence. Now that alone boosts confidence dramatically. For primary school age children, competence comes from skill repetition. Think about it like reading, writing, sport, social interaction. This is where parents often rush in too fast. They move on before mastery has actually had a chance to form. So slow down, let your child repeat. Repetition is not boring to a child. It's actually quite regulating. Now for teenagers, it's a little bit different. Competence becomes deeply tied to their identity. They need to feel capable in something. It doesn't have to be in school. It doesn't have to be in sport, but it has to be real. It can't be faked. Competence without authenticity just doesn't stick because it's so closely linked to their identity. So let's talk about one of the biggest blockers to competence for kids. It's overcorrection from parents. Now, if every attempt is met with feedback, with improvement, we never actually stabilize. The child always feels watched or judged or evaluated, and that quietly kills confidence. So here's a very, very simple rule. Let them finish before you correct. It's as simple as that. Completion builds competence. Correction refines it. If you interrupt too early, competence never forms. Now, another blocker is inconsistent standards. If expectations change daily, children stay on edge. Consistency is what builds trust, and trust is what builds competence. So now what I'd like to do is give you a really practical daily tool that you can use right now, today with your child. Ask your child, what felt easier today than last time? That question trains them to notice competence forming. It's not about the outcome. It's not about success or progress. It's progress awareness. And that accelerates confidence. So what I'd like to do now is bring this all back to the ladder. Let's reference back to the ladder. Without competence, courage feels scary. With competence, courage feels manageable. And that's the shift you're aiming for. This is also where parents need patience. Competence doesn't form overnight, but once it forms, it is durable. You can take a child out of an activity for weeks, and competence remains. Why is that? Well, that's the power of this rung on the ladder. Let me be really clear about something quite important here. Competence is not about winning, it's about control. And a child who feels control of their body, their skills, or their environment feels confident, even if they lose. That's the key distinction. And that's why confidence is built through competence. And competence is calm, not loud. With my own kids, this rung, I would say, has been critical. I encourage my kids not to jump activities constantly. We let skills settle and we prioritize repetition over excitement. And because of that, when challenges come, they don't panic. They don't suddenly look for novelty or run away and want to do something else. They trust themselves. Now, here's a really simple action that you can ask, or a task that you can start today. Pick one area of your child's life where you have noticed anxiety showing up. That could be school, sport, social situations, whatever it is. Now ask yourself one question. Is this a courage issue or a competence gap? If it's a competence gap, stop pushing bravery and instead increase repetition, lower the complexity, potentially lower the pressure, but stabilize the environment. And what you'll notice is that confidence will follow naturally. If your child is brave, but still anxious, then this rung is normally missing in the ladder. And that's the good news, because competence is trainable. Now, if you are just joining here, I want you to watch the full workshop. If you've just come in for this part of the workshop and you're watching the parts individually, scale right back to the beginning. You can see the link at the bottom of this video, which takes you to the full workshop, where you'll then be guided through the entire process of transforming your child's confidence for life and every stage of the confidence ladder. Make sure that if you have been enjoying this video so far, you subscribe to this channel so you don't miss the next part and you don't miss future videos. And if this has helped you so far, and perhaps you resonate with this particular rung of the ladder, type competence below. Subscribe, hit the bell, turn on the notifications so you don't miss the next part, because in part 7, we move up the ladder to identity. This is a really key aspect. This is how children stop saying, I did something brave, and they start believing, I am someone who does hard things. And that's where confidence becomes a part of who they are. See you there.